Alright, good morning. Welcome back to the Ahn Rho Project. I'm just behind the camera right now. First of two live streams. Before I get in front of the camera, I just want to say today's a little bit unorthodox. I'm going to try speaking a little bit closer to the camera because there's actually someone else right here in that residence. So I'll get to that in a moment. So welcome back to the Ahn Rho Project. Give me a second. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So welcome back to this self-therapeutic multimedia project, the Ahn Rho Project, which has many multiple series in addition to just being a self-improvement and self-therapeutic process. It involves item catalog. That's a sub-series focused on databasing everything that comes in and out of my life, all the physical material possessions and objects. But there's also another sub-series called 1000 Days Till Death, and that it goes under the presumption that I dropped dead at the age of 30. So what you see is what you get. Today's a bit of combination of both. For the first live stream is what you see, what you get here is some watermelon. You see the title, you see the two photographs, watermelon, as well as some mail here regarding finances. So that's what's in the first live stream, and that is a part of the item catalog sub-series that I mentioned. The second live stream today will focus on a logistical review. So that's a third type of sub-series, but that one happens every couple months or so. And that's going to be me in about half an hour. We're going to go upstairs and I'm going to show how things have changed in the room. So that's pretty much what I have in store for today. In terms of other things that need to get done, I don't know if I'll be able to finish everything on time today, so I'll have to continue off tomorrow morning. And so that's kind of what we have planned for the next 2 days or so. So why don't we, the next two live streams, or not 2 days, that's kind of a bit of a misspoke. So why don't we get started? The first thing we have to cover today, and again, this is a continuation off of, I believe, the past 4 days since my brother came back from, went back to university. One of my caregivers had a birthday, and then I had to set up everything with the work-related benefits. I had to deal with making a new platform on this project, as well as going to work full-time and missing a call with my volunteer services. So there's a whole lot of stuff coming together, and so this really just continuation off of the I guess very busy time in life where it's one of those moments where everything just comes together, and it's a real test, a real challenge of whether or not you can manage everything. So the first thing I have to cover today is just this mail envelope right here, which you see in the bottom right hand corner, I believe. Your left is my right. So this mail here, I can't show, obviously. I'm not going to turn it around. Obviously it has my address. I'm not going to do something stupid like that. But needless to say, this letter came in yesterday, and it was from one of my banking institutions, right? So, and what happened is they said that my credit card's about to expire, okay, which is fine, but I never used a credit card, and that's true. I don't believe I've ever made a transaction on it since the past 3 years I've ever had it, 4 or 5 years even. I might make a transaction once or twice every year just to keep it active. This time I've fallen short of that, so what happened is I received mail, and it was a notice saying that if I don't make a transaction, or because I haven't made a transaction, that what the institution intends on doing is not sending a new credit card to me, which is fine. I find that pretty reasonable. And so they said if I do want to receive a new credit card after it expires, the best thing I can do is just to call them. So what I did is I called them, and then there was a great customer service agent by the name of Mark, and we just had, it was kind of a funny conversation, and that's why I'm mentioning it right now, is that, again, no confidential details. I'm not going to speak about anything like that, but I thought it was kind of wholesome and funny because I ended up asking some pretty strange questions, such as, for me personally, having multiple credit cards is largely, more importantly, a way to increase your credit score, your credit rating. I don't really use many of my credit cards, and so I posed a question to him, listen, is it possible for me to have my credit card account without actually having a physical credit card itself? And he was just totally confused. He's like, why would you ever want that? Well, what's the point of that? He's like, And so we had a good laugh at the end, and after explaining everything and just asking him some questions, and I said, listen, this is just my responsibility. I understand this is a very strange question, a very strange request, and so I thought that was a very wholesome interaction. And I said, listen, I'll just go about my ways, and I'll try to see if I can just put a transaction on my account, keep it active. But at the same time, I didn't ask Mark, this customer service agent, to give me to reactivate, or sorry, not reactivate. I'm gonna keep the account activated by making an online transaction, but I'm not going to request a new credit card. And so, we'll see what happens, and that's just my responsibility. So I thought it was kind of funny, and that's what this mail here is all about. So that's what you see in the title. Again, what you see in the title is what you get. Yeah, that's that. So that's the first thing, and that popped up immediately within the last 12 hours, really. Again, life just keeps throwing you curveballs to kind of test you. You got your plans, but there are 100 different things going on in the world, and they just keep throwing shit at your face. And this entire month has been a full shit on fest, and there's been 20 different things, and this is just one of those. Okay, so the next thing here, this is just a regular thing. So obviously the food catalog. Today, this is actually not a curveball. I always anticipate having food. So what do we have today? We have some watermelon here. For my caregivers, I did not anticipate eating this, but I did, and so I have to cover it. Maybe 2 servings I ate, as well as the fruitcake that I purchased for them from Animal right here. I showed in a previous live stream. This is for them, but I ate maybe 2-3 slices today as well, and so that's just more food that I ate that I wasn't supposed to. So they're class 2 items, class 2 meaning for my caregivers, things that I'm not supposed to touch, but that I have. And therefore, if you've seen the title, it does say in one of the hashtags, debt. And so that's what I have for today's first of 2 live streams. I believe I also show that there's some toothpicks here I use, again, class 2 items, more or less 5 items here that are class 2 in nature. This is a class 1 item, again, from a banking institution, again, regarding a phone call. So that's everything for today's first of 2 live streams. I should mention just a very quick summary. Again, this is a continuum, and off of the past maybe 4 or 5 days, and we're going to bleed into probably next week. What's happened is over the past week, like I said at the very beginning of this live stream, I had something to do with my brother going back to university, my caregivers having her birthday, so we had to cover some food, groceries, and gifts. I also had to cover in a previous live stream just yesterday a whole bunch of garbage, as well as a restaurant that we ate at, the Shangri-La Hotel. I mean Shangri-La, that's the name of the restaurant, it's not the hotel. And of course, there's also that dentist appointment and Manulife benefits, just life insurance that I had to deal with the previous couple days, as well as dentistry, right? And on top of that, we had stuff like, just stuff like this, more financial matters popping up, in addition to me having to maintain, again, just working full-time and having all those issues at my workplace that I'm trying to resolve, as well as, and actually I have sort of resolved one of them, but also my volunteer gig on the side, which is helping some seniors at the long-term care house, and I missed a phone call, so I tried to call them back too. So it's just a whole shit fest. And going off of this trend, what else has come that's urgent is in the second live stream today, like I said, logistical review. We're going to move on to that in a second, in about half an hour maybe or so. Basically, because my brother moved back to university out of town, now I'm going to go upstairs and do a stream in about half an hour, 30 minutes right here. Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, wherever you're from, welcome. We're going to do a stream there and cover how I've had to change and move around all the furniture and the logistics to accompany him. Because again, living in a household here with 4 or 5 different families, and again, low income household family, just not having very much disposable income, we are renting, and it's a real challenge for me to just move things around to accommodate my brother coming back, and then now to take it all apart again. And so that's what we're going to do in the next live stream. That being said, today, first of 2 live streams, I hope to see you in the next live stream, about half an hour. So take care. This is Ahn Rho, #AHN_RHO. See you very soon.